Right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين محمد وأهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة على أعدائهم من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد والفرقان الحميد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي زدني علما. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can everyone hear me loud and clearly?
Yes.
Right, brilliant. So last week we were practicing the present tense verbs itself, and we did a quite good practice last session. So inshallah, I'm just going to practice a bit more on that, and then inshallah I want to move on forward. So inshallah, give me 2 seconds. Right, let's start. Right, let's bring someone on the mic. Can I ask Sister Samira to come on the mic?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Sister Samira, the verb is kataba. So the verb is nasara yansuru on the pattern of fa'ala yaf'ulu, which means nasara, he helped, yansuru, he is helping. So
Yes.
can you conjugate for me the present tense, please? Yan.
So Yansuru is he is helping. Yansuru, he is helping. Yun Yunsirani, Yunsaruna, Yunsaru. I mean, sorry, Tunsaru.
No, start again. It's yansuru. Nasara yansuru. The ya has a fatha.
Oh, it's Yansuru.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Yansuru. So Yansurani,
Yep.
Yansuruna, Yansuru, Yansurani.
You start again. You start again from the top. Yansuru, yansurani.
Yansurani, Yansuruna,
Correct.
Yansuru. Oh,
Tan-
Tansurani,
Mhm.
Tansurna, Tansuru, Tansurani, Tansuruna, Tansurina, Tansurani, Tansurna,
Excellent.
Tansuru,
Ansuru.
Ansuru, Nansuru.
Right. Excellent. Can I have next on the mic, Sister Talia? Assalamu alaikum, Sister Talia, are you there? Sister Talia, can you hear me? Talia, can you hear me? Right, I think she's got some problems with her mic at the moment. Nope. Right. Okay. Let me just bring someone else on mic. Can I request Sister Mehreen Jafari?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Sister Mehreen Jafari. The verb is dharaba yadribu. Can you conjugate for me the present tense of jalasa yajlisu?
Okay. Jalasa yajlisu.
Yep.
Okay. Yajlisu, yajlisani, yajlisuna, tajlusu, tajlusani, yajlusna, tajlusu, tajlusani,
Tajlisani.
tajlisani, tajlusuna,
Tajlisuna. Lam has a kasra.
yeah, tajlisuna, tajlisna.
Start again.
Start again. Okay.
Yajlisu.
Yajlisu, yajlisani, yajlisuna. Tajlisu, tajlisani, yajlisna. Tajlisu, tajlisani, tajlisuna, tajlisna, tajlisani, tajlisna, ajlisu.
And we and najlisu.
Najlisu, yes.
Excellent. You're doing much better this time around. Okay. Next person, Sister Batul Andani.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Sister Batul Andani.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the verb. Ya'lamu. Alima. Ya'lamu. Ya'lamu, he knows.
Okay. Ya'lamu, ya'lamani, ya'lamuna, ta'lamu, ta'lamani, ta'lamna,
Ya'lamna.
ta'lamna,
Ya'lamna.
oh yeah, ya'lamna, ta'lamu, ta'lamani, ta'lamuna, ta'lamina, ta'lamani, ta'lamna, a'lamu, na'lamu.
Excellent. Excellent. Right. Next person on the mic, Sister Talia. Sister Talia, alaikum salam. Are you driving? It seems you're outside. If you sit in the car and close your windows, then probably we'll hear you better. At the moment, we could just hear. Yeah, Sister Talia, we can't hear you clearly. Sister Talia, can you hear us? No. Okay, that's fine. Right. Next thing. So the next thing we need to learn is the imperatives. So we've done the past, the present. The next is the imperatives. How do we make the imperatives? So the imperatives are really easy. Just follow these footsteps, which I'm going to teach now. Imperatives are orders which a person asks from the second person itself. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Right. So it's made from the second person, which is taktubu, taktubani, taktubuna, taktubina, taktubani, taktubuna. It's made from here. So the way you make it is this. And the step number one is that you remove of all of the harful mudare. The harful mudare is a letter of the present tense, and they are the tas. All of the tas in the beginning of the present tense are removed. Okay, they are removed. Step number two. Step number two, can you see the kaf of the first letter of the three-letter verb, which is the kaf? Yes? After dropping the ta, can you see the kaf is silent?
يطلب.
Sister Talia, I think that he got disconnected. So Sister Batul for now is the host. Yeah.
Right, apologies, it got disconnected. Right, can we see on the screen that the kaf, after dropping the ta, the kaf of the three-letter verb is silent? Yes, can everyone see that? Can everyone see the kaf in the present tense is silent?
Yeah.
Now, what happens is that because it's silent, you cannot pronounce a word which is silent. So therefore, we have to bring Hamzatul Wasl. We have to bring
Hamzatul Wasl.
Hamzatul Wasl. So you bring a alif in the beginning.
Oh.
Alif. We bring an alif in the beginning. And in step number three is that the harakat of the Hamzatul Wasl is dependent upon the middle letter of the three-letter verb, which is the ta. The ta, what harakat does the ta have?
Aktubu.
Has a dhamma. So whenever the middle letter has a dhamma, the Hamzatul Wasl is given a dhamma as well. Is that clear, Sister Samira?
Yes.
So if the three-letter verb middle letter has a dhamma, the Hamzatul Wasl is also given a dhamma.
So
Becomes uktubu. Becomes uktubu. Now, step number four is this, is that in step number four, what you have to do is all of the singular verbs, taktubu and taktubina. In these ones here, in the singular one, first of all, you make the last letter silent. So you remove the dhamma and put a sukoon. Becomes uktub. Becomes uktub. And the next one, the duals, for two people, you two are writing. The kasra and the noon with the kasra, taktubani. In taktubani, these two, the noons are dropped. So it becomes uktuba, uktuba. And in the plural, in taktubuna, this noon is also dropped. And it becomes uktubu, uktubu. And in the singular feminine, this noon is also removed. And it becomes uktubi. I've spoken about the jewel, the noon is dropped, uktuba. And you all females write this noon here. This is the only noon which you need to remember remains behind. All of the 6 forms, all of the noons are removed except the plural for the feminine. This noon remains, uktubna. So Sister Mehreen Jafri, can you come on the mic?
Yes.
Can you now go across from taktubu, it becomes uktub.
Yes.
Can you go across and explain?
Okay. So as you explained, taktubu, we have to add alif zabar in the start and the middle.
No, alif zabar, just alif by itself.
Alif pesh, right?
Alif pesh, yeah. Why alif pesh?
Why alif pesh?
Yeah.
I think I missed that point, or I don't.
Yeah, because the middle letter of the 3-letter verb, the ta has a pesh, has a dhamma. Because it has a dhamma, the hamzatul wasl is also having a dhamma, or the alif also has a dhamma as well.
Okay. Yes, because of the middle letter is having a dhamma, so we will have to add alif, dhamma with alif, right?
Correct.
Okay. So taktubu becomes uktub.
Correct.
And taktubane, we have to drop the noon.
Correct.
Taktubane becomes uktuba.
Excellent.
Taktubuna, we again have to drop noon in every one of them except the last one.
Excellent.
Taktubuna becomes uktubu. Taktubina becomes uktubi.
Excellent.
Taktubane, uktuba. And this one is different. Taktubna, it keeps the noon, so and it becomes uktubna.
Excellent. MashaAllah, you did very well.
Thank you.
Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay, Sister Samira Doji, can you come on the mic?
Yes, Jay.
I'm going to give you a different one. I'm going to give you this one here. Takburu ukbur. Can you explain?
So, okay, so the te gets dropped.
Yep.
And because the bay has the dhamma, the alif has the dhamma. So it becomes ukbur.
Correct.
And then again the same thing. So ukbaru, but the
Ukbura.
ukbura, the noon gets dropped in everything. And the noon gets dropped except when it's antunna.
Yep.
So that's where it's ukburna.
Correct.
So ukbur, and then ukbura, ukburu, ukburi, ukbura, and then the only one with the noon is the antunna.
Okay, now I'm going to test you. I'm going to give you the verb dakhala. Dakhala, he entered. Present tense is yad kholo. Yad kholo. Yad kholo means he is entering. What would be the imperative? Enter.
Udkhul.
MashaAllah. Conjugate now.
So it would be udkhul, udkhula, udkhulu, udkhuli, udkhuli, udkhula, udkhulna.
Excellent. Was that easy?
Yes, but I don't, I have to know it's anti udkhuli, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that part.
That's fine. We'll get there as well, inshallah. But that was very good so far. Excellent. Right. Next person, Sister Talia. Can you hear me now? Is it working now? Almost. Sister Talia, we cannot hear you still. We cannot hear you. I think she's in the train, in the tube, and we can't hear her. Yeah, we can't hear you, unfortunately. So the question which she asked, okay, the ruling, this is the ruling. So the ruling is that when you make the imperatives, the last letter, the singular, gets a sukoon. That's the ruling, because the present tense, it has three states. The present tense has three states. The first state is that the singulars have a dhamma, yakburu. This is the first state, where the last letters get a dhamma. And the second state of the present tense is that the last letter gets a sukoon. This is the second state. And the third state is that the last letter gets a fatha, like lan yadriba. Lan yadriba, when lan comes in front of present tense, or lan yaktuba, it means that he will never write. So whenever there's a negation for future tense and lan comes, it changes the harakat of the present tense from a dhamma to a fatha. Same is the case with the imperatives. When you make the imperatives, the dhamma, which is in the last letter of the present tense, changes from a dhamma to a sukoon. This is the ruling for the imperatives. Inshallah, hope that is clear.
They can ask you a question.
Yep.
Please. So like qala yaqulu, so qul would be
Yep.
the command.
Imperative.
Qul. So then would it be so qala yaqulu,
Yep.
how is it qul? There is no aqul, there is no alif.
MashaAllah, I like your enthusiasm. I'll explain it, but I don't expect you to memorize it, because it may be a bit too overwhelming. Okay, let me explain to you.
Yeah.
So originally, qala yaqulu, originally it was qaf waw lam, qawala, qawala. That was the origin. Qawala was difficult for the Arabs to pronounce and read. They changed it to, from qawala, they made the waw silent, and it became qawla. Qawla then was changed, waw was changed to an alif, to the suitability of the harakat of the al-fatha on the qaf, and it became qala. From qawla to qala. That's the past tense. Now in the present tense, it should have been yaqala, fa'ala, yaf'ulu, qala, qawala, yaqbulu. Yaqbulu was difficult again to pronounce, so they changed the harakat, and yaqbulu, the qaf originally was silent. Yaqbulu. Because it was difficult, what they did is the harakat of the waw, yaqwu, the waw dhamma, that harakat of the dhamma was transferred to the qaf, and it became yaqulu. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Then, because when we make the imperatives, the ta are dropped. correct? Taqulu, the ta is dropped. Taqulu. Once the ta is dropped, step number 2, because normally in step number 2, when we make the imperative, the 3-letter verb, the first letter is silent. But here, qula, qulu, the qaf has a dhamma harakat. So for this reason, we do not require hamzatul wasl. Is this clear so far?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Then what happens, sister? In the last step, you know, as I said to yourself, in the imperative, the last letter of the 3-letter verb, it should have a sukoon.
Yeah.
The lam is given a sukoon, and it becomes cool.
Cool.
Because cool. So what happens is that whenever there are two, there's a ruling of in tajweed as well, iltiqa'i sakinain, when there are the two silent letters together, and one of them is a weak letter, the weak letter is omitted, so it becomes qul.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
So what I normally do, I try to teach the basic template. Once I've done the basic templates, then I can go through the weak letter verbs. The weak letter verbs are slightly a bit tricky, and they're exempted from the traditional ruling of the Arabic verb conjugation itself. Clear?
Yes.
Is that clear for everyone else? Sister Marine, is it clear for you as well?
I need to ask, so what will replace uktub for qul, for qala?
It's qul.
It's
Qul
qul.
is, qul. Qul huwa Allahu ahad.
Okay, so qul for and aktuba and aktubu.
Uktub. Uktub is for whenever there's no weak letters, it should be uktub. When there's a weak letter in the middle, it slightly changes from the original ruling, which I taught you to just now.
Okay, so for qul, all the imperatives will be qala. Did you say?
Qul. We always qul. Like, I'll give you example. Qama yaqumu. Qama means he stood. In Salawi, bi hawlillahi wa quwwatihi aqumu. Aqumu means I am standing. Wa aqud, and I sit.
Okay.
Now, aqumu, when that you make, if you want to say someone to stand, you say qum.
Qum.
Qala yaqumu, qama yaqumu, qala yaqumu, bi qum. Qum, quma, qumu. Qumi, quma, qumna.
Okay, right. Correct.
Inshallah, we'll do them at later. It was a good question, but it's a bit overwhelming at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Right. Zahra Rizvi.
Alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Right. Now, the next verb I'm going to do with you is this one here. It's this one here, Daraba yadribu. Now, as I mentioned before in the previous PDF page slide, that because the middle letter of the 3-letter verb, it had a dhamma. So this is the reason why the hamzatul wasl is given a dhamma. However, when we make the imperative of a verb whose middle letter has a kasra, tadribu, can you see it? Tadribu.
Yeah.
Once we remove all the tas and we bring hamzatul wasl, now the hamzatul wasl will see that the ra has a kasra. It doesn't have a dhamma for it to receive a dhamma. So in this scenario, when the middle letter of the 3-letter verb in the present tense has either a fatha or either a kasra, the hamzatul wasl, the alif, is given a
Kasra.
exactly.
Okay.
So from tadribu, it becomes idrib, which means hit. Idrib means hit. So conjugate now, sister.
Okay. Idrib, idriba, idribu, idribi, idriba, idribna.
Right. How about tajlisu?
tajlisu. Okay. That would be ijlis, ijlisa, ijlisu, ijlisi, ijlisa, ijlisna.
Excellent. Is this clear for you?
Yeah.
Right, Sister Batul Andani.
Yes.
Now, Sister Batul Andani, mashallah, you did very well. So, alhamdulillah, you've mashallah spent a lot of time working. Now, over here now, can you see taftahu? Can you see taftahu?
Taftahu.
Fataha means he opened. Taftahu, you are opening. Taftahu, you are opening. Now here,
Yes.
the ta, the middle letter, which is the ta, what harakat does it have? The ta, what harakat does it have? Fatha, kasra, or dhamma?
Fatane.
Correct. Because it has a fatha, and I just mentioned this is Zahra Rizvi, is
Yeah.
that whenever the middle letter is either a fatha or a kasra, when we make the imperatives, the hamzatul wasl will be given a kasra.
Kasra, yeah.
So whenever this here has a fatha or a kasra, the hamzatul wasl is given a kasra. So fataftahu, you are opening, and if you wanted to say someone to open, you will say if.
Iftah.
Excellent. Conjugate now. Iftah.
Iftah. Iftaha. Iftahu. Iftahi. Iftaha. Iftahna.
Excellent. Excellent. Right. I'm going to give you another verb. I'm just thinking of an easy one for yourself. Okay, the verb I want to give you is sami'a yasma'u. 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 Sin, mim, ain. Yasma'u. Where we say in the ziyarat of Imam Rada alayhi salam, we say assalamu alayka ya, assalamu alayka, assalamu alaykum, and they say anta tasma'u kalami. Anta tasma'u kalami. You listen to my kalam, my conversation. Wa taraddu salami. Now, tasma'u means you are listening. So how do you say listen? So
Asma'u.
isma.
Oh yeah, isma. Isma'a.
Yeah.
Ismahu.
Yeah.
Isma'u.
Yep.
Isma'i.
Correct.
Isma'a.
Yep.
Ismahni. Ismahna.
Isma'na. Correct.
Ismahna.
Excellent. Do it once more. Isma.
Isma. Ismaha. Ismahu. Ismahi. Ismaha. Ismahna.
Excellent. Excellent. Sister Rosemeen Danji. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, right. I think she may be. Okay. Who would like, Sister Dalia? Is your mic improved?
Assalamu alaikum.
MashaAllah. Good to hear you. Alaikum assalam.
How are you, Sheikh?
What happened to your mic?
I don't know. I think because I wasn't wearing headphones, so I just found my headphones, put it in. I think now I need the headphones all the time.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay. And maybe okay. Yeah, we could hear you. Before it seemed as if you was on the tube.
Oh no, I was at home on my laptop as normal.
Right. Okay, maybe what's happened is that maybe your configuration itself, you know, when you log into Zoom,
Yeah.
Do the configuration, test your audio.
Right. Okay.
Try that and see what's the problem. It will tell you what's the problem itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right.
Okay, inshallah.
Now, I'm going to move on with yourself, and I'm going to ask you this question now. Was you able to hear me, by the way,
Yes.
so far?
Yeah. So I was listeing to the whole thing.
That's perfect. Now, The next verb is alima,
Mhm.
and alimta becomes ta'lamu. Ta'lamu, you know.
No.
Ta'lamu, you know.
Mhm.
Now explain to me, how do we make the imperative from ta'lamu, you know, to know?
Okay, so from my understanding, you mentioned that all the ta is dropped and replaced with an alif, and depending on the haraka of the middle letter, then you know what letter the alif should have. So if it's a dhamma, then give the alif a dhamma. If it's a kasra or a fatha, then you give a kasra all the
Excellent.
time to the alif. And also the last letter, if it's a nun, it's dropped, and you said the dhamma is replaced with a sukun, isn't
Excellent.
it?
Excellent. And there's only one exception, which is the plural feminine, where the
Yes.
noon remains, because that noon is a sign of plural.
Oh, okay.
So for ta'lamu, the imperative will be?
i'lam.
Mhm.
i'lam. And then ta'lamani, you'll go to here. i'lama, i'lamu, i'lami, i'lama, and i'lamna.
Excellent. Now I'm going to ask you another verb.
Okay.
Shall I give you? Ghafara.
Mhm.
Ghafara, he forgave. Yaghfiru, he is forgiving.
Yaghfiru. So here would the ya be dropped?
So anta taghfiru. So you go to change the ya to a ta, make it easier for you. Taghfiru means you are forgiving. Now, how would you make the imperative?
Ighfar.
Ghafara yaghfiru. The fa has a kasra. Fir.
Sorry, say that again.
Ghafara yaghfiru.
Yaghfir.
Ghafara yaghfiru. So
Yaghfiru. Then the alif would also have a kasra.
correct. So it becomes
Ighfiru.
اغفر.
Ighfir.
ربنا اغفر. ربنا اغفر لنا. Or ربنا آتنا في الدنيا. رب اغفر.
Ighfir.
اغفر. Yes, originally is اغفر. But because of we're joining ربنا اغفر, because we're joining on, that's why we're dropping the alif. It should be اغفر. Yes. Bismillah, continue. اغفر.
اغفر. اغفر.
Excellent.
اغفروا. اغفري.
Excellent.
اغفرا.
Yep.
And اغفرنا.
Excellent. اغفرنا. Now the verb next one I will ask you is raja'a. Raja'a. Yarji'u. Raja'a. Ra, jim, ain. Present tense is yarji'u.
The jim has a kasra?
The jim has a kasra, yes.
Yarji. Oh, with an ain, yeah?
Yep.
Yarji. So it would be irji.
Irji'. Continue. Like ya ayyatuha an-nafs al-mutma'in irji'i. Does it make sense now? Conjugate now. You will find irji'i where it comes.
So irji. Yeah. Irjima.
Irji'a.
Irji'a. Irji'a. Irji'u.
Correct.
Irji'i.
Excellent.
Irji'a.
Excellent.
And irjina.
Irji'na. So when we see in Surah Fajr,
yes.
Yeah, Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'in irji'i. So irji'i is imperative. Irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah. Then we have udkhuli. So what is udkhuli?
I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, I expect you to answer the answer to that one. Udkhuli. Dakhala yadkhulu. Dakhala yadkhulu, udkhuli.
It's imperative, but I don't know what it means.
Okay,
It's
dakhala
translation.
means he entered.
Entered, yeah?
Yeah, and yadkhulu, he is entering. Tadkhulu, you are entered. Tadkhulu, fadkhuli ila, fadkhuli jan. So fadkhuli means enter.
فادخل.
So try to conjugate udkhul. Udkhul.
ادخل. To make it imperative,
Yes, please. Udkhul.
so it would be, is it
Udkhul.
yes, ادخل. ادخلا ادخلا
Mhm.
ادخلوا
Correct.
ادخلي
Excellent.
لا
Excellent. Udkhulna.
ادخلا and ادخلنا.
No, excellent. So it's because in ayah in Surah Fajr, it says fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Enter, be amongst my servants, and enter into my garden, meaning the paradise
So
itself.
this imperative is used like as a command.
Yes.
Okay, so you have the past tense and present tense, and then the imperative is just used like commanding people, like hit.
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay.
inshallah, give it some time. Once we finish book 2, then inshallah, I do plan to start jurisprudence, usul al-fiqh. Usul al-fiqh tells you how the ulama and the maraji to extract ahkams from the Quran. So for example, in the Arabic language, so these are rulings in the jurisprudence that all imperatives, like what we're doing now, indicate upon obligation.
Okay.
So that, and unless there is some sort of context where it indicates, however, like if there's a however, if you could do two times, that is preferable. So then we'll know it's not indicating upon wajib, it's indicating upon recommendation.
Wow.
So first of all, we teach Arabic grammar and our basic Arabic, and then we'll start jurisprudence so that you can build upon your Arabic understanding and understand why this verb is indicating upon mustahab, makruh, or wajib itself.
Sure. Thank you, Sheikh.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Sheikh.
Brilliant. Who would like to come next to the mic? Who is going to come next on the mic? Who should I think Batul Andani, can I pick you for a second?
Yes.
So Batul Andani, here,
Yeah.
Hasiba means he counted.
Yeah.
Tahsibu, you are counting. How do you say count in Arabic? Imperative.
Count. Hasiba.
The Hasiba, he counted, is the past tense. Tahsibu, you are counting. How do you make the imperative?
Imperative. Yeah. Ihsibu.
Is. Make the last letter silent.
Ihsib.
Correct. Continue. Ihsib.
Ihsiba.
Yep.
Ihsibu.
Correct.
Ihsibi.
Correct.
Ihsina.
Ihsiba.
Ihsiba.
Mhm.
And ihsibna.
Excellent. Ihsibna. Right. Next person, sister Samira Deoji. Sister Samira, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Right. The word, you know the word masaha. You know that we use masa, the word masa in wudu.
Yes, wiping.
Masa means to wipe. Masaha in Arabic means to wipe. The verb is masaha yamsahu. Yamsahu means he is wiping. If you want to say someone to wipe, how would you make the imperative from tamsahu? Mim, sin, ha. Tamsahu. How do you say wipe?
Tamsahu, tamsahu. Okay,
Yep.
so the A gets dropped,
Yep.
and then you put the alif, and because it is Because the scene has the fatha, then
Seen as a fatah. Yep.
yes, the scene has a fatha, so the alif gets a kasra.
Correct. So it becomes
So imsah,
imsah.
imsah,
Conjugate now. Imsah.
imsaha, imsahu,
Excellent.
imsahi, imsaha. Imsaha, imsehna.
Not sniff now, fatah. The seen as a fatah.
Imsahna.
Imsahna. Excellent. MashaAllah, you're doing very well. Next person, Sister, any questions?
No, thank you.
Next person, Sister Mehreen Jafri.
Yes.
Sister Mehreen Jafri. I'm going to give you the verb. I'm sure she'll give you. Qatala yaqtulu. Qatala means he killed. Yaqtulu, he is killing. How do you say kill?
Akala yaqtulu.
Qatala.
Qatala.
Qatala yaqtulu. Nasara yansuru. Same pattern as kataba yaktubu.
Okay. So sorry.
Excellent. Yes, you're right.
Uqtul.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Uqtul, uqtula, uqtulu, uqtuli, uqtula, and uqtulna.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Very well. How are you feeling? How do you feel yourself you're doing?
I'm better today, but all of this is getting difficult and difficult day by day.
But MashaAllah, you answer the questions right. So that's a good sign.
Hopefully I'll do better.
So this is it. I'm not going to teach you anything else after this one. After the imperatives, then I'll give you one more verb, which is the verb which is in lesson 1, and then inshallah we'll be starting. So one more week, and then the following week we'll be starting book 2, inshallah.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to starting book 2.
Inshallah. Okay, Sister Zahra Rizvi.
Yep. Sheikh, I have a question. Sorry, I had to step away, so forgive me if you've already explained this. But irji'i and wadkhuli.
Yep.
Both of these have the ending for anti, for feminine you.
Yep.
But they say in Tafsir, we find that this is an imperative of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, saying that you enter Jannah, you come back to me. So the endings aren't matching.
So here, it's referring to the soul itself.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
That's why it's used. Fadu irji'i ila rabbiki is referring to the soul,
Which is feminine.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's right. Is irji'i. Okay. Right. Now the verb which I want to give you is shariba. Shariba means he drank. Yashrabu, he is drinking.
Okay, so I think it's ishrib, ishriba, ishribu, ishribi, ishriba, ishribna.
Did you take what's those energizing drinks called?
Red Bull. Yeah, I feel like that right now. I'm stepping back and forth because I'm cooking, I'm doing a million things at the same time, and I'm trying to listen as well. So I'm very hyped up right now.
Okay, mashallah. Excellent. That was right. So ishrib, ishriba, ishribu, ishribi, ishriba, ishribna. That was correct. Excellent. Right. Any other questions which anyone wants to ask? Is this clear so far with you? I'll send you a handout just explaining this as well, so that you have that as well with you, okay?
Okay.
Right. I'm going to move on intentionally because I want to start book 2 as soon as possible. So I'm going to deliberately move on just to see and test the waters. Of course, I'll do this again next week, but I'm going to just show you something else now. This is quite easy, and mashallah, because everyone's talented, it shouldn't be that difficult. So who shall I ask? Who shall I ask? Who shall I ask? Sister Talia, can you come on the mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. So now, Sister Talia, can you see this this template here now? This template here. Now, in the past tense, how many? So Madi Ma'lum is the past tense. Now, how many letters do you see in the past tense now?
4.
And how many have we been practicing before?
3.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is this getting harder now? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not trying to say that you're trying to get harder. I'm just trying to say that you're getting more professional now and getting more advanced. So what's happening now is that we are now moving on to a 4-letter verb where we have 4-letter verbs in the Arabic language just to alter and change the meaning. For example, jalasa means he sat, and if I put the jalasa 3-letter verb on this pattern as ajlasa, jalasa means he sat, and ajlasa, it means that you force someone to sit down. I'll give you another example. I'll give you an example. Allahumma adkhil ala ahli al-qubur surur. So this verb now, adkhil, it's past tense. Original 3-letter verb was dakhala, which means he entered. And when you do adkhala, it means that someone causes something to enter somewhere else. So adkhala gives the meaning of causing to enter. So when we say Allahumma adkhil, which is an imperative, you're asking Allah to cause to the entering of what? Happiness in the graves of the believers. Now, when we add this alif here, it changes the original 3-letter verb like kataba, jalasa, akala, nasara to the meaning of causing something itself. So what happens, we just add the alif in the beginning and you will see that the fa has a sukoon now. So before the fa had a fatha, but in this verb conjugation, it has a sukoon. So the conjugation, the ending itself remains the same. The only thing changes, it's that there is a fa with a sukoon and there's an alif which is added in the beginning. So it becomes af'ala. So I'll conjugate and then I'll ask Sister Talia to conjugate. Af'ala, af'ala, af'alu. Af'alat, af'alata, af'alna. Af'alta, af'altuma, af'altum, af'alti, af'altuma, af'altunna, and then af'altu and af'alna. Now, Sister Talia, can you conjugate now, please?
The same word?
Yes.
Okay, so it's literally just adding an alif with the sukoon afterwards, isn't it?
Go ahead.
أفعل 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 أفعلوا أفعلت أفعلتا أفعلنا أفعلت أفعلتما أفعلتم أفعلتي أفعلتما أفعلتن أفعلت أفعلنا أفعلنا.
Yeah, excellent. So it's nothing different, it's the same. Just remember that's an alif added in the beginning.
So could you kindly explain that like in a sentence? So you said it's when you add the alif or make it a 4-letter, it's causing something. So
I'll give you
in English.
Let me do it in stages. Let me first teach you the conjugation and then I'll give you examples in sentences and ayat of the Quran, so it makes much more you will understand it better itself. So if I try to explain the meaning at the same time you're conjugating, it may be a bit overwhelming for yourself. Okay, so Sister Samira Dioji, can I request yourself to come on the mic?
Yes.
Now, on this same pattern of af'ala, I want you to conjugate adkhala.
Okay. So أدخل أدخلا أدخلوا أدخلت أدخلتا أدخلنا أدخلت أدخلتما أدخلتم أدخلت أدخلتما أدخلتن أدخلت أدخلنا.
Excellent. Is this clear for you?
Yes. Cause to, so you are making somebody enter because that
You're causing, you either you cause someone to do something or you initiate someone to do something.
okay.
That's what it comes in the meaning of. And I'll give you more examples next week, inshallah. I just want, first of all, get yourself to conjugate this. Now, the present tense. Now, the present tense here, it differs from the other present tense in the sense that here, you will see that the ya has a dhamma. So here now, yuf'ilu, yuf'ilu. Normally, we read yaf'ilu. When we do the present tense of the four-letter verb, the ya, or all of the present tense first letters will have a dhamma. So this is the sign to indicate this is the present tense for a four-letter verb. Now I'm going to ask Sister Batul Andani.
Yes, sir.
Can you do yuf'ilu?
Sorry?
Can you conjugate the present tense?
Yeah. Yaf'ilu,
Yuf'ilu.
yuf'ilu, yuf'ilani, yuf'iluna, yuf'ilu, yuf'ilani, yuf'ilu, yuf'ilani, yuf'iluna, yuf'ilayna.
Tuf'ilu. Tuf'ilu next.
Huh?
Tuf'ilu is next.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tuf'ilayna,
Tuf'ilani.
Tuf'ilani,
Yuf. Then yuf. Yuf'ilna.
Where is it?
Here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yuf'ilna, yeah. Sorry. Yuf'ilna, yuf'ilu, yuf'ilani.
No, tuf'ilu.
Oh, yeah, Allah. Tuf'ilu, tuf'ilani, tuf'iluna, tuf'ilani, tuf'ilna.
Correct? Uf'ilu.
Uf'ilu, nuf'ilu.
Excellent. Sister Mehreen Jafari,
Yes.
can you do yudkhilu? Adkhala, yudkhilu. Yudkhilu, can you do that? Present tense?
Yes. يدخلوا يدخلان يدخلون يدخلوا
No, tudkhilu. Next.
sorry تدخلوا تدخلان تدخلنا
Yudkhilna.
تدخلنا تدخلان تدخلون تدخلين تدخلان تدخلنا ادخلوا
Udkhilu.
ادخلوا
And
Nudkilu.
nudkhilu. Right. I want everyone to do the past and present tense of this verb. Is that possible? I'll send this slide across into the group. Is this clear? So can everyone kindly? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so inshallah, kindly, if everyone could do the present tense and the past tense, and I'll give you a example, a verb on this template so that you could conjugate that as well. So I need you to do this and also the imperatives. Write them down, please write them down and send it across to me so I could check it, and also send me a voice note of conjugating the imperatives, the past and the present tense of this verb as well. Okay, so please do this, and inshallah we will meet yourself next week the same time. Any questions from anyone? Afara is the same.
What
Is
did you
not the
say
same.
about the homework?
Sorry, my laptop went out of charging. Who is this?
I have a question. Are you okay, Sheikh? You keep
Yes.
coughing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, that was it. I just wanted to ask if you were okay.
What? Yeah, yeah, alhamdulillah, fine. Thank you. So if everyone could do this, that would be much appreciated. So because what's going to happen is that let me show you something. Let me share something and show you what inshallah, if you just follow these instructions, they're really important, because I'm going to show you something why this is so important. Let me just show you on laptop. Just give me 1 second. Right. I just want to show, and then inshallah you can go. You can. Okay. Today handouts. So let me just share this, and then you can leave after this. If you look at this one here itself, right? If you see over here now, you will see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there are 10 additions to a 3-letter verb. So, Sis Dalia, if you come on the mic, so you will see here, Sis Dalia, that a alif has been added here.
Mm-hmm.
Akrama. So karama is a root word. Akrama, alif is added. The next pattern, you say, yusall inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Now the word sallama, yusallimu, which means send salam and salutation, there is a ra. On top of the ra is a shadda. Now this is a additional ra which has been added. So these changes, by adding a shadda or so forth, this alters the meaning itself.
Mm-hmm.
So sarafa means normally change. Sarrafa, yusarrifu tasrif. Now you've been to Iraq, you've been to Iran. Now tasrif, you've probably seen that on shops. Tasrif means exchange. You remember the word sarraf when you go to Iraq?
Yep.
And it says sarraf means exchange. So that is the actual meaning where it derives from.
Mm-hmm.
And here, dharaba, which normally means hit. Now, adding this alif here now to make it dharaba, this now changes the meaning into combat. When you have a combat, who is it with? Is it by yourself or is it with someone?
Somebody.
Exactly. So whenever any verb comes on this pattern, adding an alif after the 3-letter verb, it comes in the meaning of a mutual correspondence with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And here, tasarrafa, like in Surah Qadr, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, inna anzalna fi laylatil qadr wa ma adraka ma laylatul qadr, laylatul qadri khayrun min alfi shahr, tanazzalun. So tatanazzalu is on this pattern. Tanazzala yatanazzalu. So that means a gradual descension, gradual revelation of the Quran itself. And then tadharaba, watawaso. Watawaso, here again, it gives the meaning of mutual correspondence with someone else. Iktasaba, again, gives the meaning of the action of something being achieved. In English, we don't have that. For example, he rode, so he rolled over. Like, so when someone's performing an action and the result of the action is being achieved, this is that verb. It gives that meaning. That's for example, cooking. I am cooking, so the food got cooked. It gives that meaning across, that the action is being achieved. The result of the action is being, of the verb is being achieved. And then in Sarafa gives pretty much the same meaning. Like when Imam Hussain alayhi salam in Karbala says, Al-an in kasara. Kasara is a root verb. Add the alif and noon in kasara. Al-an in kasara dhahri wa qillat hilati. So in kasara means the action of break, or someone's back being broken, or someone's strategies have been completely been destroyed. That's what it does. And then the final one I will do, istaghfara. Now any verb, kharaja, as you know, means exit. Now adding the alif, sin and ta, it gives the meaning of seeking. For example, the word istikhara. The root word is khair, which is goodness. And istikhara means seeking goodness. And for example, istaghfara. Ghafara, he forgave. And istaghfara means to seek forgiveness. As we say, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Is that clear?
So are these the only possible conjugation, or are there even more?
These are the main 10 foundational additional verbs which we need to do. And then after this, after the 6 and 10, 16, there is about another 80 I need to go through. But they're easy. Once you know the template itself, the 16, everything else is conjugated on these templates itself. They're not different. It's like it's a slight amendment, but these are the main template itself. Everything is conjugated on.
Okay.
So once we finish book 2, I will do the remaining 80 conjugations. Once I taught you the next 80, then you will know pretty much all of the verbs in the Quran itself. And then inshallah, and only thing that I will need to work on is trying to work on your Arabic grammar. Once you know all your Arabic grammar, and then inshallah you'll be able to read Arabic books, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you, Sheikh.
No problem at all, inshallah. I just want to give you an outline of what I'm doing and the strategy and what needs to be covered, so that it gives you some motivation and some sort of insight what's happening.
So Sheikh, are you going to write in a group what is the homework, please?
Yeah, I'll send it across. In the group as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم كن لوليك الحجة من الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وأين حتى تسكنه أرضك توعا وتمتع فيها طويلا واجعلنا من أنصاره وشيتك وجندك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم. So it's Master Dua. Take care of yourselves, and inshallah remember me in your duas as well, inshallah. Next week, Wednesday, there will be no class. As you know, you'll probably be happy because it's going to be Eid. So next week, Wednesday, there will be unfortunately no class. So if you want to do a class another hour, inshallah, I'll try to rearrange it for a different day.